She couldn't join, sir. She is in a function. Yeah. So, hello team. Welcome everyone once again to today's Thop Talk. So, I'm really excited for today's Thop Talk to reveal this to you all. Like here is Vinay and Nikhil before you to present that uh, new way of life, the Thop way of life. So, before we get into the presentation, let's recite our invocation. I request everyone to please close your eyes and tune into Top World. Nikhil, please go ahead.
Yes, this is who we are. We are a team, talented, energetic, astonishing mindsets. We can do anything and everything. We talk, we care, we respect each other. We see beauty in everything. We are connected by hearts and driven by values. We celebrate each other. We provide value to each other. We take ownership in everything we do. We have freedom to make mistakes. We learn as we go. We are mad to make a difference. We love disruptive ideas. We make impossible things possible. We are strong to question the creation. We believe in dreaming big. If we do not dare to dream big, are we really living? Why be ordinary when we can be extraordinary? We should be driven by our goals, not by egos. We can do it, we will do it. Let us not hope for the best, let us be the best. This is who we are.
Hey Sai, wow, so happy to see you here.
Hey, Vinay. How are you? Hey, Nikhil.
Hi Surya, wow. So, Nikhil, shall we go to your poem?
Yes, Vinay. Thank you so much. So I was just thinking
Hello.
a lot about what is life and how are we all being, and then these thoughts came like flowed like this, and I kept them all into in the form of a message. So I just want to read this out. Wisdom wisdom is not defined by age, but rather by the ability to learn from others and think beyond what we already know. It is time to think big, act big, and make crores of rupees without limiting ourselves by the process. Life is full of ups and downs. The beauty of life is that we have the opportunity to teach and learn from people around. No day is same, and every day is a new opportunity to create our own story. We must take the initiative to write our story and not let others dictate it for us. It is not acceptable to put ourselves or others down, and instead, we must have the courage to stand up for ourselves. We are all a part of nature, and we will eventually be forgotten, but our impact on this world will remain. It is time to change the world and make a difference. We all have a role to play in creating a better future. And it starts with writing our own story. We must be brave enough to take risks and not be afraid to fail. We are not here to simply exist, but to make an impact and a better make a difference. Let us not be afraid to think big and act big, because in the end, the wheel will change and the world will change with it. So come, let us write a story of tomorrow, a story that will change the world.
Wow.
Can you all unmute yourself? This was
Yes,
really
yes,
big. My
yes.
God. Can you all unmute yourself, please?
Wow, beautifully written, Ra.
Wow. That was really big. Really well put. Congratulations. Well done.
So I really can't talk after listening to what Nikhil has just read. So yeah, he has brought in so many big points about our role in this world. We are here to make a difference. We are here to redefine the life, right? So are we really doing it? If we see our last 5 years of journey, what are we really doing? We are creating a difference and we are learning as we go, right? So if you see our last 5 years of journey with Topisel, like it has been magical. If at all we weren't thinking in a different way, if at all we weren't questioning the creation, it wouldn't have been that magical. We have been creating many disruptions on the go. We have been creating many magical bonds, and we have been inspiring all the people around us with our lifestyle, right? So if you can see, we have given our invocation to the world. It is going to be one of the biggest contributions from Topisel to the world, right? So our Top invocation just summarizes how one should live life. Something like how he can create a difference, or how she can inspire others, right? So um, the idea that I and Nikhil are going to present is going to be another contribution, a big, big, big contribution to the world. Like everyone is so stuck in the current life model, such that they are not even able to think a life is possible beyond this. There is a new way to live a life. Is there really a new way? That is what is the question. So if we don't question how the current life model is being run and how we can redesign our life, how are we going to know about it? So we have come up with that whole new life model. Before we present it to you, there is a short story time. Okay. So I'll take you all into that short story. Give me a while. You're able to see my screen, right? Yeah. Over to you, Nikhil.
Thank you, Vinay. Very well articulated. So let us hear a short story. We all know a lifestyle we all have been witnessing since our childhood. It has two phases, how I see. Firstly, 21 to 60 years. So, what we do from 21, we think about our career. We only have this thoughts of family, friends, career, and company in this age. You just start to the college, you get graduated, and then you get a job, and you get married, and then you raise the children, and you have friends around you, and you look at the possibility of seeing the passion. What is your passion? And you join in the process. You join a company and add value to it. And after that, when you are in the 60 after 60s, most of the cases people want to take rest, just retire and take take this path of anthropology. Vinay?
Yeah. So philosophy, and then sorry for the spelling mistake there. So yeah,
And what are the hiccups of the current model? We all think about money, money, money. We, from the childhood, we don't really question what is money and why it is important to us. Is it easy to make money? Is it hard to make money? Without even questioning what is money, we get stuck up into the cycle of earning money. And we we go so deep into it that we forget about everything. This eventually creates so many issues in the family. So you can see it as like in the current model, you see people going after the money. So if there is a small family, the husband start thinks about earning money. And now in this current model, you see wife is also start thinking about money. So you see so many issues in the relationships because they are not thinking, they are going after a cycle which they don't even know where they are going. And eventually this is affecting the kids they are raising. It was different in the previous time, but now we are seeing this phase of this phase wherein the kids are really facing uh, are getting addicted to so many things because they are not being emotionally looked after, or they were not given that proper attention that has to be given. And many often we forgot about the looking at the emotional part. It's not just about saying uh, you always know that I am there. It is more like showing that care of continuously showing that emotional support to them, understanding them and supporting them. And in this process, in this current model, we also see this. There are many mental blocks we are creating, which is preventing us to not go after our life. It can be it can be in any kind of mental block we set for ourselves, which often creates that stops us knowing the purpose of our life. And also here comes the other model, other issue, which is like health issue. And what is the solution? Is there a different way to think about life? Can we really think differently, think a way in which we all we all become humans and interact and really see create a better future as and create a better future for the future?
Yes, Nikhil. So to add to what Nikhil has just told, are we really living a conscious life? Like, are we really thinking why we are doing this? Why are we even thinking of job soon after our graduation is done? Why are we even thinking of getting married as soon as we get some salary? And why are we even thinking to bring up children into this world? So is it because your parents have told you, or is it because you read some book, or is it because all the successful people who have existed have done the same thing? Like, the whole point of education is just to question the things, right? So are we really questioning? And is there, like, as an engineer, we all have to think how to make a process better. So are we really thinking to make this life process more better and avoid this process? Because all these affects our efficiency. Okay, if we treat our life as a process, like, there are so many things that are cutting down our efficiency. It may be family problems, it may be children's, or it may be with the relations or whatnot, health issues and everything, right? So I think, and we think, there is a better way to live the life. Something like, we are just told, and marry, raise your kids, and then get them educated, and then think after their marriage, and then retire at 60s, and then go for some rest mode. That's it. So what are we really doing? Something like, if you can see, we have reimagined how we should live our BTech life, and we have been redefining it. If you can see, hello,
Yeah,
can,
you are not audible.
can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes.
So if you see, we have already redefined the BTech life. Like who will be meeting all the bigger people whom we have met, who will be doing these many projects, who will be creating a whole new ecosystem when they are still in their undergrad. This is how we redefine for all these 4 years, right? So how are we going to live our next life? What are we going to do about our marriages? What are we going to do with our kids, and how we are going to raise them? All these questions do pop up in our minds, right? So here comes the new way to live life. Okay, so introducing you Thop life model. So Thop life model actually reimagines how we live the life, and it actually categorizes life into four different sections. So if you can see our Vedas or whatever it is, like they also categorized our or segregated our life into four different parts, where you will have to look after certain responsibilities at certain point of time. So coming to the phase one, so all these categories will be for the 14 years duration. Okay, so this 14 years, 14 has some magic in it. If you can see, Ramayana, they have went to Vanvasa for 14 years to create a whole new life. I don't know if Rama will be able to win over Ravana, if at all that 14 years of exhalation period was not there. I don't know if Pandavas would have been able to defeat Kauravas, if at all they didn't live a different life for the 14 years. So this 14 years has something to do with it. There is something magic in it. So that is we were already initially thinking to earn 100 crores by the age of 30 and becoming financial age of 30, right? So we added the current 17 years when we get into graduation and undergraduation, and then added 14 number to it. So it comes to 17 to 31. So during this 17 to 31, what do? We get graduated, we find our job, and then we get married. So these three things are the most important things that we do in this phase, right? So there there can be many mistakes that we may do, because we are not conscious and we are not questioning. Something like, should you even graduate? Should you even take a BTech degree and get graduated? Or can you really think of coming with a model where you are not going to college, but you're going to learn what you're passionate about, what you can do? And even while choosing your job, are you choosing your job just to make money, or really think big? Okay, are you choosing it to learn, or are you choosing it to earn? If you are not thinking about financial independence by the age of 30, you are going to stuck in that 40-year cycle of making money, looking after your expenses, and all those things. And when should we really start thinking about financial independence? Is it after 30 years, or is it after your kids? No, it should start right from 17 years, right from your undergrad itself, or even before. So that will give you a different mindset. That will give you a different mindset to look at the enjoyment, to look at friends, to look at your network, and to look at your job and whatnot, everything. when you're really in that financial independence mindset, you will also see which life partner is going to add so much value to your life. If she is not going to add that value, or if she is going to take away that magic from you, you'll not choose her, and you will not create so many problems in your life. So really you'll have to invest so much of time in choosing your partner too. And then when you get married, do you want to have children immediately, or would you decide on taking 2 to 3 years and then have the children, and whatnot, like making big money. So in this phase you will also be thinking about how to really level up. If you see, um, early man lived his life a certain way, and then came farmers, and they lived their life certain way, and then came the our father's generation, and they lived their life certain way. Every time the model kept on changing. Okay, but I felt it didn't get any better. It didn't give a new meaning to the life. And now we are here, the next generation, or our kids generation, who have to redefine life. AI intervention has made our life so smoother, and have created so many disruptive changes. So I think there will be no question of going 10 hours to the office and sitting before a laptop. Like all these things are going to be redefined. All these things are going to be reimagined. So are we really up for that kind of a lifestyle where we are actually living a more meaningful life? No, right? So it's time to question, guys. So that is all about phase one, where you will really work on becoming financial independence. You'll really be relentless. You'll be working maybe 14 to 16 or to 18 hours per day, and really focusing on your goals to make how much you want to make, such that um, you are going to be out of that money cycle, out of those mental blocks, such that you are going to spend more time with your kids. That comes in a phase two. So the phase two is from 31 to 45. What do our parents do generally in this phase? Since they have taken job at 25 or so, um, they'll still be going to that job each and every day. And then at 30s also, after we have come into their life also, they'll still be going to that job, and we may not be given the enough attention that is needed as a kid, right? So I think there are, if you can see what is currently happening with the world, there are many problems. Like kids are getting addicted to phones, drugs, and everything. Why are all these happening? Why didn't we addict, but they are getting addicted? It is because of improper attention from the parents. Because who is having time? They are not even having time to cook in home. So how they will have time to look after the children, right? So like looking after the children is not just feeding them, right, or not just sending them to a school. They really have to think about how they are bringing up, what is their value system that they are coming from, what is the mindset they are really building. All these needs so much of attention, and so much of heart, time, and energy put into it. So are the parents really having, like, when when a parent who should really concentrate on the children, they they are forced to think of a company and how to make it better, the company that they are working for. So is it really worth it? Is it really worth it to think of a company that you are working, or is it really worth it to bring up your children? So if you don't have time to really bring up your children in a proper way, why are you even bringing them onto this world? So this model is going to question all those things. And see, if you see here, we are written spending more time with spouse and kids, something like as soon as you become financial independence, like you will see a different life all through. You will have so much of time to go and spend time with your spouse and kids. You may be going on a world tour. So world tour doesn't have to do with all the money you have made. It might be just going without money. You will, since you are already financially independent, you will be able to think beyond. beyond money, such that, is there a different way I can go around the world even without money? Like, that is what is spending less mean. Okay, that is where you will question the enjoyment and the fun. Something like, not all the costly things need not have the fun, right? So there is always a different way to think of what fun and enjoyment is. What is really mindset of a kid means. What is how should you educate him or her? Okay. So since we have started this top life model from 17 years, the before years, something like 3 years to 14, 3 years to 17 years, the previous 14 cycle will be getting covered in this, because these are the top parents. They will really have the top kids who is really thinking about how to bring their children in a much better way. So this is all about phase two. Like, here we are going to question all about what is love. How can I really raise my children? How can I get him educated even without going to educational institution? Because it is going to be changed. All our books are going to be outdated. So is there a necessity to really go for the college, or can I think in a different way? All these questions are going to come in the phase two. And phase three, over to you, Nikhil.
Thank you, Vinay. So till here, you have seen that the way this new model will create that emotionally strong person you, and with that strong, mentally strong mindset, anything is possible. Even you feel like going to a mountain and breaking it down into pieces. And as we all think, as we all feel that once a strong team forms, every small thing can every small thing seems to be small. Every big thing seems to be small, right? So in this phase, which is like 45 to 59 years, in this model, you will be going after your career, and you will chase every dream you you have been thinking in the past few years. And in this time, with the kind of mental state you are in, with the positive, uh, with all kind of emotional touches and becoming emotionally strong, you can be you can be in the leadership positions, where you can really create a new systems in place, wherever you go, and creating own companies. And this time, you know that your children already will be into that mode of, they understand, they get to know things, they understand things. In the earlier phase, you really gave them so much of time and love that they know that you're already there. And now they will start understanding and supporting you in your dreams. And this is a really different way of thinking. I i think this way of thinking would really create things faster and more powerfully. Let's go to the phase 4. And here, this phase, where I we think that in the age of 59 to 73, you in this model, you get to the you get to that power. You have that, you developed a really strong you. And when you are in that state, you always feel like you can do anything. And at that moment, imagine working on the social issues like poverty, health health issues, or it it can be like our hunger or climate change. These all issues are never ending topics, right? So at this stage, I think you'll have that freedom, you'll have that strong mindset and everything in place with you to really invest time and create that teams and be be in power to influence people to go in the go in a way where they can work on these social issues. And in at this age, generally you can see that we can create that network which network for any issues, or network to really look at how can we all as a humans help each other. So the this you can definitely see some roots of ESL coming in. And this way of Thop lifestyle is something which is like the next big thing to the past few years of journey we had.
Yeah. So just adding to what Nikhil has told, I think this model is going to make us regret free, because anyone who comes into their 70s or so, they will be feeling, Are, I should have spent more time with my kids. I should have given so much back to my country. I should have given back so much to my college, but I didn't do it. Because when you really come to your 70s, you won't be having that much. You might be having so much of money, but you won't be having that much of energy to do all the things, to go everywhere you want. So as we were talking about phase 3, once um, once the phase 2 is done, your kid will be almost 18 years old, and he will be, since you raised him so consciously, that he or she will be independent of you. So then that is why in phase 2, since you are spending so much time on your kid, so that they they are growing so independently, such that they will be in no need of you after phase 2. After they turning 18, they will really come into this life cycle of creating their own identity in this world, their own impact in this world, right? So then you can really go after your bigger dreams. Something like you wanted to always set up a company, something like you always wanted to adhere that leadership position, then you can really go. But if you see, since we are in the current life model, since we are so tired from working all the time, from morning to evening, from 31 to 45, we won't be having that much of time. We won't be having that much of energy when we really come to 45s or 50s, to really go and relearn everything. This is where our learning mindset is coming. Something like, you are not going to stuck there with what you have learned. You'll really question yourself on what you can learn better, what are the new skills you can come up with, right? And then I really love this phase 4. So this is kind of vanaprastham, where you can go into forest to live a different life, right? So here you will be um, telling bye to all the things that you have done until then. You may be creating a whole new life for yourself. Something like, you may be, as Nikhil said, you may be working on hunger or poverty or those kind of bigger problems, right? So for that kind of a thing, you will have to create a new network for yourself. So something like, you should live a life such that you are reconstructing yourself each and every time, and all the fun happens through that reconstruction. You are putting your ego down, you are putting your status and all those things of your mind, and the identifications that you have made with yourself, all those things aside, and you are really constructing, reliving your life so many times during these 4 phases. So that brings me to the last slide, that here we are with this Thop life model, which is going to give you a holistic living. So as I and Nikhil have explained you the whole Thop life model, um, what is it going to be? it is going to be, um, as I told you, it is going to be the biggest contribution that we are going to give to the world, right? Suppose say if you have listened to Simon Sinek's Golden Circle, or if you have listened to Ikigai concept, all those are concepts. All those are concepts which we talk a lot about, right? So this is going to be one of those concepts we are going to one of those concepts beyond all of them that we are going to give to the world. Something like how should a Thop live life, or how we can reimagine our life, the way we live. It is going to be that level, and this is going to be our message to the world. Something like we are doing Thop Leadership Institute, right? So what are we really going to talk about when we are going to present about Thop Leadership Institute to the outside universities and to everyone? We will talk about Thop life model. This is the life we are imagining. Are you ready to imagine the same way? So if you want to live that kind of a life, this kind of a reimagined life, you'll have to come into Thop Leadership Institute and build up that mindset and all. So all the things that we are doing, obsessions, transition, Thop talks, Thop Leadership Institute, Thop University, are all going to be those modules which can take you towards this Thop life model. Okay, so this Thop life model is like the overall umbrella, or the overall vision that we will be working towards, such that we are really questioning the creation, and we are really questioning what's the present standard now. So with that said, I'll hand it over to Shravan sir. Please add your thoughts. Thank you.
So, wow, fantastic. Very well done, Nikhil and Vinay. Uh, you know, the if you go back to the pandemic, maybe 20% of the people were working and 80% of the people were at home, and still the world was running. We were at home, the food was coming. So that clearly shows we need only 20% of the people working, and 80% of the people can stay home. There is no need, right? So what do then the 80% of the people do? If they are not really needed to sustain the society, what are they needed for? They're needed. So a person is no longer, so with the AI, with all the developments that have happened in the last 20, 30 years, it is about relationships now. It is pretty much all about relationships. So how can I have good friendships? How can I go on a trip with my wife or husband or kids or my friend? What can I learn? Maybe I want to learn dancing. Maybe I want to learn, being a carpenter. Maybe I want to be a pilot. So it is all about creativity now. It is all about saying, what do I want to do in this world? The survival part is taken care of. The survival part is very, very less. Yes, in some parts of the world, the survival part is still is a big problem. And that is something you guys can address it in the phase 4 of your life. When you get into phase 4, you'll say, you know what? I'm going to make this particular, there is no hunger in Africa. Or you take one big city or one big state, country, and say, you know what, this is what I'm going to take care of. You can, because now you're going to implement a 14-year plan. You have so much of experience. You have started your own company. You have gone around the world. You have met so many different kinds of people. And you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this. This is my give. This is my way of making this world better. And will you be able to handle that? Absolutely. Cities have been created in 14 years. Why can't you fix hunger in a city in 14 years? Absolutely, you can do it. So this model gives you power back to you. Now you have the power. You can say, oh my God, I spend time with my wife. I spend time with my husband. I spend time with my kids. And that is so valuable. That is so valuable. So very, very well done. I am hoping, uh, any questions uh, regarding this?
Please raise your hands so that I'll call your name. Any questions, comments, or whatever you felt during the presentation? Your thoughts on this top life model, sir?
Sidhu has a question.
Okay,
Hello,
Sidhu.
I'm here. I've been here. So my
Oh,
question,
you too listen to our presentation?
yeah, I've been here
Okay, okay,
since it started.
okay,
I'm
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so
thank you.
my question is, you guys are talking about how 14 years starts like this new phase of life. So is the presentation like a guideline on what is ideal for the average person? Or is it how the 14 years should go? Because maybe someone when they're 17 to 31, they should be starting their business or they should be fighting for social change. And then when they're 59 to 73, they should be doing something else, or they should be relaxing or something, or spending time with their family at that time. So is it less about what you do during the 14 years, or is it more about how you shift your priorities every 14 years?
See, you are already talking in terms of 14 years. Like, it is not something like you have to do this at this time. It is just to see there are many lives possible within your single life. You are
Okay.
already telling it the same way. Something like, if someone wants to really go for a social change at the age of 21, he can really go after it, because he can always come back and go for a corporate life, or go for spending time with the children when it is needed. Something like,
Yeah.
suppose say if you really started off with a social cause, and you may think, I can never go into corporate life. You can actually go if you are really willing to learn and reconstruct yourself every time. That it is just to provide that new perspective on the life, Sidhu, so that we are not going to stuck in what we are told.
Yeah. Okay.
So, adding to what Vinay said,
Yes, sir.
Sidhu, usually people get married during, the late 20s,
Yeah.
and the kids, all the relationship with the kids, everything happens in the 30s.
Yeah.
So this model helps you to that phase 2 is all about family.
Mm.
So in phase 1, can you have your own company? Yes, you can. And we are encouraging you to have your own company,
Yeah.
to be financially independent.
Yeah.
So we are not saying you cannot.
Yeah.
So you can have, in phase 3, again, we are saying you can have your own company again if you want to.
Yeah.
But now you are more matured.
Yeah. That's what I was asking about, whether it's
Yeah.
how it was being presented.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it is.
Just making
So
sure.
you are making sure that you are arranging your life to fit with fit how you want to live in this world.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, oh, my parents did it this way, my grandparents did it the same way, so I'm also going to do it the same way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So isn't a part of that also, let's say I'm halfway through 7 years into my 14 years, and I say, wow, why did I choose this path? Doesn't that also mean I should be able to change my priorities? So isn't it the 14 years just forces you kind of to make sure that your priorities are moved around and readjusted? But shouldn't we constantly be questioning our priorities and what we really should be doing? 14 years to make sure that it happens eventually, at least. If I'm understanding correctly.
I mean, again, you're giving, the priorities are all something, yes, you have to, right? Because today's priorities might not be the same.
Priorities as in, what do I want to achieve?
Yeah. It will be changing, right? Today, you might be thinking, I want to become the best cybersecurity engineer in the world.
Yeah.
And 2 years from now, you might be saying, yeah, you know what? I want to go and be a mountain climber.
Yeah.
So then that is what it is.
Yeah.
You go and become a mountain climber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's the again in phase two, it is really, you don't really need that much to live. I mean, as I mentioned, 20% of the people were creating everything for survival for the remaining, for the 80% and for the whole 100% of the people, right? So how hard is it to live a life with little money, but with a lot of love? So
Thank
no
you,
one has
Sidhu, for your
questions.
thoughts.
No one has questions and comments. Otherwise, we have to call people. Nikhil, come on. You should at least have comments. Okay, Vivikta, go ahead.
Vikta?
Yes, sir. I have comments. Thank you so much, Vinay Anna and Nikhil Anna, for presenting this new life model. I am personally so excited for this model because, like, we have seen our parents and grandparents, right? And we know the loopholes or we know the problems that they have been facing. And అసలు నాకు ఇదే అనిపిస్తుంది అంటే కొత్త లైఫ్ మోడల్ గురించి ఆలోచించిన తర్వాత దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ ఐ థాట్ లైక్ ఇన్ని తెలిసి కూడా వై ఆర్ వి నాట్ ఈవెన్ క్వశ్చనింగ్ ద లైఫ్ మోడల్ దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఆల్రెడీ సీన్ అని అసలు వై అంటే లైక్ వై దిస్ థింగ్ హ్యాస్ హ్యాపెండ్ విత్ అస్ అండ్ దట్స్ వెన్ అంటే లైక్ అవర్ ఇన్వకేషన్ మన ఇన్వకేషన్ లో ఉంటుంది కదా ఇఫ్ వీఆర్ నాట్ క్వశ్చనింగ్ ద క్రియేషన్ దెన్ అంటే లైక్ ఆర్ వి రియలీ లివింగ్ అన్నట్టు అనిపించింది అనమాట సో I'm so excited now for this model that and also the best part for me will be the second phase of our lives and the best part and kaadu the most exciting part the second phase of our lives that is 31 years నుంచి 45 years వరకు when we'll be spending our time with our kids and because అంటే like the way we have been brought up will be so different that uh, they will be brought up I think and I'm just imagining their lives and how free they will be how much freedom they will have in their minds how much freedom they'll have with all the mental blocks that we have మనకున్న mental blocks అసలు ఇంకా వాళ్ళకి ఉండనే ఉండవు and from there on they will be creating such good lives for themselves and అసలు I don't know. I'm so excited for that thing, and I'm so excited to see what all new things are going to come up with this new model. And until like we are the first first batch for this model, kada. So now like we have to really pave the path. ఒక కోల్ మైల్ లోకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ టైం వెళ్ళినప్పుడు మనం అంతా తవ్వుకుంటూ వెళ్ళాలి కదా I mean, imagine that journey. How beautiful that will be. How rewarding that will be, and how we will become conscious of so many things in the earlier phases of our lives. అంటే 30 years వరకు మనం ఎంత కాన్షియస్ బీయింగ్స్ అయిపోతాం అన్నట్టు సో wow, I'm so excited for this. And like this new model is giving me so much more energy and confidence in myself. I want to start on things, take on new things, try out new things. This is like so motivating me to move forward and follow my dream and make the life that I want to live. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vivikta. Thank you so much. So, Sai, I have a question for you. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. So, I know you'll be becoming financially independent, or maybe you already are 2-3 years down the line, or 3 years down the line, right? So, how do you actually look at life and um, to live about it once you already becoming financially independent? What is your take on it? That's what I'm thinking.
I already
Mhm.
I already am living that life in a sense. Like I don't
Mm.
think about money anymore. I don't Uh, like there's always money in my bank account, and whenever I need to buy something, as long as it's pretty cheap, like less than $1,000, I can buy it, and I don't need to think about it. So I haven't looked at my bank balance in a long time because I know the money's there. So,
Wow.
like, I mean, like every year I do my investments at the beginning of the year, and that's it. I don't look at it pretty much. I mean, once in a while, maybe pay some bill or something. That's all I look, right? But the reason, so yeah, so yes, I still work, right? So that I still have to work. I'm not technically financially independent. But in the same vein, though, if let's say I had all the options in the world, I would still do what I'm doing right now, right? Like, I don't want to travel really. I don't enjoy traveling that much. I traveled a bit. I tried it out and I like it a little bit, but not enough to do so much.
Yeah.
And I don't really like nice things. So life is easy. I can live on
What do you mean by that?
like I live on like $30,000 a year, and I'm very happy. And I don't need much more than that. So I think my rent is 12,000, and food is, I don't cook, so food is more expensive for me. So I get the food from like a tiffin service. They cook the Indian food and deliver it to me. But so those are the things. I just buy the things that I actually just need, and the rest is like just do what I like to do, which is building the newest things in the world. So yeah, I mean, so in that case, like I'm already in that thought process of like, okay, what would I do if I have the money? Like I don't need to worry about money. And so since I'm not worried about money, I just am like, so the phase you guys are talking about, like becoming the best in the world at something, this is my thing. So for some people, I guess they'll be really focused on building the money at this time. I think I will not have to worry about that. I think the money will somehow show up. If I become the best in the world, of course there'll be money, right? Like there's not even a question there. So yeah,
Something like if you have already done what is to be done by your until your 60s, something like having money, becoming best at something, then what you're going to do next after your 30s? That's the question, right?
well, I mean, there's a lot of things to be the best at. Like, and first of all, this is like a never-ending thing. Like, really, I know you guys have a high opinion of me, but I'm realizing just like how small I am, and it's because of the lab I'm in. The people in my lab, and I really like, I'm so serious about this. Every person in the lab is much, much, much smarter than me, and that's really crazy. So like every day, I just see like these are the people I have to become like, and so yeah, they're literally changing the world. Like the stuff you see, I don't know, have you seen like these models called Stable Diffusion, ChatGPT? These people work on these models. Like they're literally sending you these models, and I work with them, right? So yeah, I get to see like the best in the world, and that's like the big motivation for me. But
Super.
yeah. So it's very crazy. It's very surreal. Like the guy sitting next to you is like literally like has like a 1 million hits on like LinkedIn or something for something he like built. So there's this guy at Samsung. His name's Ashkan Mirzai. He is the #1 like gold medalist in mathematics from Iran, and he is the #1. And they have a school there called Sharif University, which is like MIT in Iran. He's a top rank in that. He's a gold medalist in math, and he came to Samsung, and within like 6 months, he published like a paper that he published the results on LinkedIn, 1 million hits on that video. And he's like 23, 24. like just amazing people. So yeah, I
Right.
mean, that's like, so I have so far to go that I haven't even thought about like I'm even close to the thing. Like I am so far away. Like to get even to that guy's level will take me years. So yeah, but that's, I think he has his own way of doing things. I have my own way of doing things. And he
So this
will
might
be
be
in his way, but yeah, I have my own method. So we'll see how my method goes.
yeah. So this might be too early, or this might be the right time to ask this question. So did you think of creating your own family and how you want to go about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think my dad has told you something about our talks too, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
About
mean,
what? Yeah.
I think my dad has discussed with you some of my thoughts too, maybe before. Like, my dad has said, like,
We were told
conversation.
that okay, though you're having this much of money and all, you wanted a simple life, a small family, a small home, and live a happy life. That's what we are told.
Yeah, I want to, like, I mean, again, it's not like small. Again, small is
Yeah.
very relative, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
like
Yes.
my parents' house is big, but when I say small, I mean that house, okay? Like like that type of house, okay? So like still a nice house, but not like, so like these houses, when I say small, I'm saying like a house that's 500,000, 600,000. To me, big is like maybe $5 million house or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
anyway,
Okay.
okay, so because the thing is, like, automatically for what I do, I'm in the, like, just my field. If I'm an average person in my field, master's degree, you're making 250,000 coming out of the undergraduate, okay? Or sorry, coming out of the master's program. But I'm not average, so I know I'll make more than that. So when I say small, is like these are the houses, like that house, whatever. That's the place I'll take. But yeah, I mean, the problem is finding who is very interested in building a life together, because right now I don't want that house. Like, I'll get the house later, but someone who's interested in building a life together and is okay living like in an apartment for a certain amount of time, because this is the age where you get to live in an apartment and you don't need to be tied down by a house and a car and everything. Because later,
Yes.
once you have the house and you have the kids, you can't do anything. It's like you're stuck, right? Like that's
Yes.
what we talked about. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm interested in, is like, I've talked to my dad about, like, I should find someone who's very flexible and enjoys this phase, like this phase of like high learning, and maybe living a little bit uncomfortably at times.
Yes. Yes.
That's great, like, because really, like, I could provide the comforts right now, but my issue with that is it makes me constricted. Now let's say I provide some comforts for some girl who comes. Like, I spend more money, I have some money, I spend it on this. But now I have to maintain that level of comfort for that person, right?
Yeah.
And that makes me not willing to take the risk. Like, let's say I want to build a startup, right? For a startup, so you won't have money for a couple of years.
Yes.
So,
Yes. You'll have to make it
that girl should be
your own funding.
comfortable. That girl should be comfortable, maybe sleeping on the floor. Like, I don't have the money to pay for the bed at that time, but it should be like, okay, this is a fun thing we're doing for a couple of years. I'll just trust Sai that, after a couple of years, if this experiment doesn't work out, then we'll go back to having a bed or something. So
Got it.
that's kind of the idea. Like, that's the thing I want, is someone who's more interested in this, like, the thing you can do with. Oh, sorry. Is my network bad?
Yeah.
Is
We
it
are
okay?
here. We are here. We are able to hear you.
Oh, okay. Let me
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
if it becomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone who's interested in this like growing phase, like as you mentioned, like this phase of life where you have high growth and you should be willing to be uncomfortable. That's
Yeah.
that's the main thing for me. Really, like one of the big things here in the States of the people who grow up here is they're living like we grew up with so much. Am I still connected? Hello?
Yeah. We'll
Oh,
let you know.
okay. Everyone froze on my screen. Sorry.
Oh,
Yes. Sorry about that. Okay. One of the things that's happened here in the States is since everyone lives with grew up with such nice things, they just get comfortable like that, right? And even I get comfortable like that. So, but if someone comes into the expectation with the expectation, this is how it should be, it feels bad for me a little bit. Like, I mean, okay, like I guess, like, but won't you enjoy like even the small thing I give you? That should be fun too, right? Like I'll enjoy
yeah.
the small thing you give me too, right? So
Yes,
that's
yes.
how it should be. So yeah, that's the idea. And so when I say living simply, it's like that, like so I was living my dad, which is still great. Like so
Yes.
yeah.
So see, Sai started that questioning, like what is the real part of enjoyment, and what does enjoyment mean? Like it is not only about those so-called nice and costly things. Okay, yeah. Sir, do you have a point to tell? Is anyone willing to speak? Please raise your hands. Thank you, Sai. Thank you so much. Yeah, Akka, please go ahead. Hello, Bhargavi Akka, you have a point to tell?
Yeah, sorry, was on
Yes.
mute.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Able to hear me? I'm like, disconnected.
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Yeah, like first of all, great presentation, Vinay and Nikhil. Like earlier in one of our sessions, we had a discussion, right? Why don't parents spend some time with the children and their family, right? So the point, whatever you mentioned in this presentation, will bring a solution for that, right? So yeah, and I thought when we come with a new model in the society, everyone will have a doubt, like, is that really going to work, right? So when you're giving the presentation, I just got Shravanamaya in my mind. I thought like, Anna ఇవన్నీ చేసే వచ్చారు కదా, he's already doing that. At this age, he started now Topisal and he's trying to give back to the society as we discussed in presentation. So when anyone got a doubt that is it really going to work, నాకు అనిపించింది ఈ శ్రావణాన్ని చూపించవచ్చు లైవ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ గా అని. సో లైక్ ఫెల్ట్ వెరీ గుడ్. మీరన్నది కరెక్ట్. అది అలా ప్లాన్ చేసుకుంటే we will be able to spend some time with the family and our kids, and it will bring solution to so many problems what are the children are facing today. Yeah, great presentation, like very good. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Akka. The whole question is that only. Are we really planning it before so that we can give extra time to or spend all the time on our kids? Like, or else if we are not working that much during this phase, we'll still be working for the company, not for our kids, something like that. Yeah. So should we call it a day? Is there any other comments? Sir, Sidhu is doing some jokes.
When does Sidhu not tell a joke?
Okay.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Very
Thanks,
well
sir.
done.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, everyone.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, team. Thank you for joining this Top Talk. Meet you all tomorrow. Bye. Bye, Sai. Bye,
Thank you,
Sidhu.
team. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Ka. Bye, everyone. Bye, Sean, sir.
Bye.